Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Iris Global After Hours. We're here in Orlando, Florida at an amazing conference called Live to Love, where about 250 missionaries, staff members, base leaders from all around the world have come together this week to just do family. In Iris Global, we believe in family so big that we literally got everybody here from all over the planet. And so we're here. You may hear some loud noise behind us. That's Jason Lee Jones leading everyone in worship. So we've gone into this weekend as a conference with Live to Love with Brother Yoon and Claudia Friesen, and the public in Orlando, Florida is coming in. And it's just amazing to see God move amongst our family of Iris Global, but even with everybody coming in. And so we're here. My name's Shay Arthur. And I'm filling in for Nathan and Crystalline as they're out visiting family. So please continue to watch this awesome video because we're here and we're awesome. I didn't know what else to say there, but you're welcome. Anyway, so I'm here with Gareth Cunningham and Hayley Fields. And they are some of my favorite people. There's lots of heroes here at this event, but I'm so glad that I would have this time to just talk with you guys. They are part of a Iris worship band that is really recent. And if you've seen on Iris Global, we've been on a summer tour. We went, I think it was like 11 services in 11 different states. And we're going to get to that eventually in conversation. But what I wanted to do is just take some time. And at Iris Global, we just love highlighting people that just are just in the presence of God. And then they're not striving to figure out what they're doing or how to do it. They're just being like David, just serving God in a field. Mm-hmm. And then, Samuel came and he chose David. And that's what I love about Gareth and Hayley, is that they weren't trying to make a way for themselves, but even though they're amazing worship leaders, they've staffed schools, they've done harvest schools, like they are a huge essential part of the Iris Global family. So we wanted to share them with you. And so, if you want to just share a little bit about yourselves, that would be awesome. Gareth, we'll start with you.
First. Well, I'm from ladies go first.
Sorry, ladies. I was the first lady that went.
That's right.
So,
I did harvest school 15 in 2011. And actually met my wife there in 2011, and we didn't get married till 2013. But that's where my journey with Iris started, and this whole world was in 2011. And then I did my school, and immediately after I went to Madagascar on my outreach, I felt God just say, "You're going to come back and serve." So I applied immediately got accepted back to staff schools in 2012, and I staffed the next two schools.
Awesome.
And went on to staff some more in Florida and Sarasota, and so the doors just kind of continued to open, I guess, with schools. And so I just honestly, after my school, I just saw something that I'd never seen before, and I guess what I wanted to do was just serve. So God allowed me to do that just for several years and just continue to learn what had been poured in. So yeah.
That's awesome.
So I met my wife, Kelly.
Kelly is amazing.
She's amazing.
Find these people on social media. Go now.
She is amazing.
They're amazing.
She's off the charts, actually. She staffed my school, but we fell in love in Sarasota, Florida after the school there. So that's when she was drooling over me. And so,
we're going to get her in here and really see
it's such a great story.
I'm just kidding. It is a crazy.
It's
like one of the best stories.
It actually is a crazy story,
awesome.
Honestly. But me and Kelly, we both got married, and we continued to staff schools together.
And lead schools.
And we led one school, which was amazing. Harvest School 23, I believe it was.
Yeah, 23.
So we took our little girl Evelyn at the time. She was 1.5, so that was fun watching her play in the dirt.
That's awesome.
But we haven't been back. We actually haven't been back to Pimba since then. So,
awesome. Cool.
So it's fun to bring the wife. All of us get to do this together as family, so it's kind of cool. It's fun.
Yeah, no, when you first went as a student, or even like your first couple schools in with Harvest School and things like that, were you leading worship? Is this something that you were like, oh man, this is what I was made to do? Or did you go into it thinking like, man, like this is not necessarily what I saw myself doing? Because I think that's what happens sometimes, is that, you know, you go into it going like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is my niche. And you don't realize sometimes that you have this whole other niche until somebody like draws it out of you. And so if you could share just quickly about your experience.
So,
I know, right?
honestly, it's a lot. Like I went into my harvest school, and honestly, I was just super hungry. Like I just wanted God. I didn't care. I didn't care about being seen or leading worship. I did take my guitar, probably a mistake. I took my guitar.
And all the ladies were like, hey.
How you doing?
And you're like, back up. I ain't got time for counterfeits.
So I took my guitar to my school, and I remember as soon as I got there, you know how you go to your room and you know you got your suitcase and all you're meeting people like crazy. Me and some guys just sitting on a picnic table in the men's camp.
For it.
And we're just singing and having a good time. And one of the guys like, guys, we need to take that. Let's take this out in the middle of the compound. Sure. Which a lot of you guys know, in the compound, there's the guys, there's the girls, and then there's like the kind of in the middle of the girls, I guess, where everybody can just gather by one of the trees. But so we just sat down, and like the whole school. This is like day one. Like we didn't even started school yet.
And
like all the students came.
That's so good.
And we're just strumming and worshiping. That's it. Like, and so to answer your question. Yeah, so some of the staff, actually Luke comes to me, like Luke Weaver, who led my school, which we'll talk about him later, but he's like, hey bro, you know, he's like, would you want to lead a school, like a class, like maybe, you know, within like a few weeks in the school?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I love to serve, so I was like, yeah dude, I'll lead one. And it was great. And so God just took it and just breathed on it. It was powerful. And then from in my school, I didn't lead a ton, but I did lead several mornings. Yeah. And then it just kind of took off from there. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's with anything. Like it begins to grow because God begins to breathe on it. And you're like, wow, I wasn't even trying necessarily. So thanks for sharing. Hayley, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself and like whatever, however you, I mean, it's so funny because I know Hayley. We live close to each other. And so I'm all like, I could ask 30 questions, but I'm choosing not to. Okay. So I'm like, so what's, you know, how's your heart? No, I'm just kidding.
How's your heart?
But yeah, so I guess something essential that I would love the viewers to know is just kind of your story, and just, whatever you feel like God wants to share. So Hayley is like one of the vocalists for the Iris Worship Band, and she is just this amazing gift to just, I don't know, like they're both so pure in heart. And this is not me puffing them up because like these are my friends. Like I love that I get to talk about them, like and talk with them because I'm like, these are my friends and I'm getting to share them with the world. And so they both just carry such a purity of heart. And I love that the culture we're in is like worship with Bethel and all these things are just taking off. And God's just really touching like this worship thing on the earth, like all over as we travel the globe. Like we're seeing worship, like God is just doing something to release the sound of heaven. And it's cool because as Iris, we have like our own sound. Like we hold a different part of the Father's heart of worship, whereas Bethel carries something and IHOP and these different streams. And it's just so beautiful to see God use my friends, your current friends and now friends, I'm willing to share, to just release his sound. And so they carry something so beautiful in worship, the purity of God, just this beautiful, great surrender, like a life laid down for him, where it is about him and it's about his worthiness. And he really is just worth us laying down our lives. And so, Hayley, share a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your story, and just honestly, whatever you feel like God would have you share.
Okay, yeah. So I grew up in a Christian home and everything. I'm going to fast forward a little bit though. So I grew up in a Christian home, but I didn't know about friendship with God. I didn't know about a relationship with Jesus. Like it was very, just heaven and hell, but not relationship. Right. And my heart was so like just touched by God supernaturally at a young age. Like I got saved, started falling in love with Jesus really early on, and no one taught me about it. Like I would just find myself in my closet like praying and just seeking God with all of my heart, and didn't know anyone else who was doing that at the time. Long story made short, I was really sick for a long time, for about 7 years. Really like deathly sick and
Like really sick.
like really sick.
Like just to say
Like,
she
it would
was
be a
sick
long
was
story.
like slightly like, oh, I had a cold. No, you didn't have a 7-year cold.
Yeah,
Like you was sick.
it was
sick,
really
girl.
bad.
You was sick.
But I fell in love with Jesus in the midst of it. I remember one day the Lord just kind of like just appeared to me and he was like, Hayley, this is who I am. And all of a sudden I had this revelation like, oh my gosh, God, you're nothing like I thought you were. Like you actually love me. You want to talk to me. You want to spend time with me. You want friendship with me.
Wow.
And so then I've just been on a journey of falling in love with God every day since. And then in 2016, I felt just this invitation. So in 2012, God supernaturally healed me and gave me my entire life back. Like,
And now we
no more
celebrate
issues.
that.
Now we
yearly.
celebrate that.
Come on.
It's my
She's got
6
2
years
birthdays.
healed.
Yeah.
So I had my 6th birthday this year. And in 2016, I really felt like God was like, Hayley, what do you want to do? Like, I will back you up.
Like an invitation.
Like an invitation.
to-
Like, dream with me. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And in the beginning of the year, he had told me 3 places that I would go, which was Trinidad, Africa, and Europe. And I was like, okay, but I thought that'd be over the span of maybe
years.
maybe like 5 years maybe. And in the beginning of that year, I went to Trinidad, and then he was like, what do you want to do? And I'd been following Iris for a while and Heidi, and I had a bunch of friends who went to harvest school. And so it always kind of been in my heart. And I was like, you know what, God, I would love to go to Africa.
Right.
And he was like, okay, apply. So I applied. I didn't hear back for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, well.
It's like the longest 2
I'm
weeks
like,
of your life.
maybe I'm not
You're
supposed to go.
I'm not accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like,
Every person thinks that. If you're applying for
Right.
harvest school, just know.
Just hang in
just
there.
know, just hang in there.
Thousands of people apply.
Thousands of
and
people
that's why
apply.
they can't get to yours right away.
Yes. And so then I got accepted, and then I was like, oh, snap. I have no money. This is awesome. And God just supernaturally provided everything within 2 weeks.
That's
like
so good.
thousands of dollars within 2 weeks,
awesome.
and really taught me about the body. And I went to harvest school. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was different than what I had imagined for me personally, but it was incredible. God rocked my world. My best friend had told me, she said, when you go to harvest school, you're going to come face to face with yourself and face to face with God. And so I went in, and God was like, I don't want you to do anything. I want you to be a student and a child, and I want you to just step back.
Wow.
So people, right? And I'm like, okay. And so people would be like, hey, do you want to lead here? And I was like, I'm okay. Like, I think they're like, some things are your life. And I'm like, I know. I think, yeah. And then, but halfway through the school, then I started leading. Like, God just like really highlighted, and it was like,
cool.
no, it's time. Like,
I didn't know
switch.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I went in as a student, and then God was just kind of like,
See, I messed up.
shifting it.
I should have
No.
middle of the school.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
But it was good. It was a personal journey.
But I want to just, if you don't mind, I just want to, because there's a lot of people, I feel like they're seeking after positions.
Yeah.
I just want, just for like 20
go for
seconds. And they want to be seen. But you said it just starts with you and God.
Yeah.
And it's true
Friendship.
for me. Like 8 years ago, this year, when God rocked me, it's like, and now getting to do stuff like this and the tour and things that we're going to share in a minute. Yeah. But it's like people are like, did you go to this school, like worship, and did you like vocals and get to like, and it's like, no.
Did you
like,
get on the stage?
Like it has to start with you and God.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can't stress that enough. Like, like, well, where did you learn? It's like, I sat in my room.
Sat in my room with God.
Like, you just sat in your room and played? Like, yeah, just sing to God. Like, whatever. And that's like, that's what it's about. It's not, and in that, and you said something earlier, out of not striving for a stage or in front of harvest school or whatever, that people are really wanting. It's not the heart of Jesus. Like, he never really tried to be seen or position himself. Sure. Like, it's like you just tuck yourself away, right? And like let God, because when he opens the doors, it's evident that it's him. And you don't have to, and just all the striving and all the stuff. And so just be encouraged, guys. Like, like if you have an anointing or a call, and this thing's in you, like just be patient with it. Just be with God and let him do it, I guess is what I would say. So I love how you said that. Like, it was just, you worship God in the secret place. And God opens the doors for corporately, It's just that simple.
It really is simple. It really is friendship with God.
It's not complicated.
It's now I'm reminded of David, and David spent years in the fields with God. Yeah. Right? Just a little
On
shepherd
tractors.
boy.
Mm-hmm.
On tractors, yep, in the
On John
Tennessee
Deere
fields. No,
tractors.
right. Gareth, who's like
Jumping
David.
hay bales.
Yeah. That's
Why
what he
y'all
does.
looking at me?
Because we know you, and they need to know you. So
They do need to know
I do love
in your
tractors.
story. Tractors are good. But he's in the fields, and he's like cultivating a friendship with God. Like worshiping when no one's watching, when no one's seeing. Because here's the thing, if you get on the stage and you don't have a friendship with God, like the spotlight will crush you because it's on you.
You perform.
Right. Yeah, you perform. It's not you and God.
Yeah.
It's like with me, like when I'm up there, like I am with Jesus. And it feels like I am in my room with God. And then I have to remember, oh wait, we're with a bunch of people and we're a family and we're going in. But it's like, man, can you worship like you do on stage in a secret place? And if you can't, I would encourage you to take a step back and ask God, I want a friendship with you. I want to be close to you. And I would also encourage you, like, the calling of God will find you. God will find you where you're at. Yeah. Like, God literally sent the prophet to go find David. God's like, I've anointed a king for myself, not for the people, but for myself. Yeah. So David's out there just worshiping God, And it's like, God's like, I found someone who knows my heart.
Yeah. Well, and before, like David, it was like all these other brothers.
Right.
And it was like, no, like I'm not looking at the outward appearance.
I'm looking at the
because
heart.
this guy looks like he would be the perfect prime candidate.
Yeah. Right.
The guy's like, no, I'm looking at the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like a huge part of that story that we ain't trying to preach, but we're going to preach. But I think there's a part of that story where it's not like David didn't go shower, clean up, and then come in and get chosen. Like he came in from the fields. Like he came in smelling sweaty.
Like sheep.
And like, but and that's the thing is like, I think that sometimes when we know we have this huge call of God on our lives, we think, oh no, like, we can cover it with religiosity, but the truth is like there's a point of striving and performance of saying, but I have to make a way. Yeah. David never made a way. No. He didn't even go shower. He was like, I'm coming right now. Like y'all need me, I'm coming. Yeah. And God, and like I love the way you said that. Like the will of God it'll find you. The call of God. Just keep your eyes on Jesus. And so I love that because I love both of y'all because I know your stories and I've seen you walk it out and I think sometimes like social media and things like this, it's like you can look at some well-known singers of our tribe and it's like, oh man, like they've got it all together. And it's like, no, like they had time where they didn't feel good for 7 years and thought they were going to die. There's times where, Gareth struggled and it's like, it's real. And I think sometimes it's like, it's just good to hear the realness and the reality of you found God before you found a platform. And I think it's not about performance. It's about a posture of heart. Yeah. And it really just becomes friendship with God. So,
and I just because I think God's on that, man. And people need to hear this stuff. Like, I just left a job where I was a worship leader in a church for 2 years. And now it's like, I've been telling people, it's like now I got my tool belt back on. Yeah. But the beauty of this transition the last month for my family is I don't care that I'm not in a church leading worship full time anymore. Like I'm just as happy working with my dad every day.
Flipping houses.
Houses, like, and I just think there's a lot of people, they're trying to go after this entitlement thing and it's like God just, he wants to, Mama Hadi put out a YouTube video one time about just like, and it just demolishes entitlement and stuff. Totally. And it's not about that at all. Like if we're in that or going after any part of that, because man, God knows the ambition of why you're doing what you're doing.
Totally. Yes, he knows the motives.
So it's like, I don't know. I think it's good to have those seasons where it's like, search me, Lord. Like Will's been talking about, like, I'm gonna step back, and you said it, step back, and like really search where am I at. And so,
it's like, when's the last time you prayed, refine my heart? Clean my heart.
And cleanse it, make it
like,
pure.
Because that's really worship. Like worship is clean my heart, refine me.
And he'll do it.
Yeah.
He
will.
I could talk about this for hours. I do want to get to some stuff that, like, how you guys met and who's a part of this band and those things that you've done together. And honestly, more than anything, like at the end of this, I really would like you guys just to share where you see worship globally going and just share your heart on that. And so I'm just going to kind of explain. Yeah. So this summer, basically, I'll start here because there's a story. Where do you start?
Yeah.
And I'm sure your story is like that too. And I just use my hands a lot. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, so Kurt Wilson, which is going to be on other episodes. He's a hero. My nose is itching. And he's a hero, and he's a good friend of all of ours, and we love running with Kurt. He's an amazing pioneer at our St. Louis base. Shout out. But he and I were putting together these little conferences just for our alumni. It was kind of the heart of it. It was just to gather our alumni because we have such a huge heart just to see them keep going, keep running after the call of God on your life, keep going for it, keep staying on fire. And so we were doing both and more St. Louis and just bringing in friends. And we had Gareth come, the first one, the annual one. There's only 30 people, 30 alumni at this one.
2000 what?
2016.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah,
it was
2016. Yeah, we didn't even know you. No. And so we did this, and Gareth came in led, and we had Philip and different friends come in and fill in for the
Philip's
band.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so, and then me and Kurt were like, what if we did one in the East Coast? And so we were like, let's do both and more Atlanta. And they were like, what if we got all of these awesome worship leaders that we know and said, hey, y'all form a band. It was kind of this hidden, well, they won't know it, but we're, they're all going to be awesome together. Because some of them knew each other, some of them didn't.
I know any of y'all.
Yeah, Hayley didn't know anybody.
I know nobody.
Hayley knew me, and I was like, we've got to get my friend Hayley. This is going to be awesome. And so, so that's kind of how they came together, really. Yeah. Some of them knew each other. Some of them didn't. And they kind of just came together and exploded.
Yeah.
And God really just breathed on it and kissed it.
Yeah, he did.
With that, an unexpected kiss. Yeah. It was beautiful. And so if you guys want to share a little bit, you don't have to share about both of them more a little if you want to, and then let's just go into summer tour a little bit. And then we'll end.
How we met.
However you guys want to.
So we met in Atlanta.
The ATL, Hot Atlanta.
ATL.
That's where
we live. So represent ATL. I met Shay earlier that year. Well, she texted me. A mutual friend. Know each other. A mutual friend was like, text Hayley. Can I? And then she was like,
Hayley's an awesome worship leader. You should have her, meet up with her.
That's it.
And then I was like, hey, guess what? I'm having a worship night.
Do you want to come?
A few nights from then. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So they showed up and I was like, hi, family.
Yeah.
And we became family.
So
that's how we met.
Yeah. So she's like, do you want to come help lead worship in Atlanta? And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Iris, yeah. So I met these guys and it was amazing because you guys immediately became brothers.
This is before we kicked off the night, the gathering, it was we met an hour and a half, 2 hours
we just walked in and was like, hey, you love Jesus.
We hop on stage, we're doing sound check with guitars and keys, but we're introducing ourselves, hey, I'm Gareth, and
nice
I'm I knew Luke Weaver, who's an amazing.
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah, you can also introduce them as well.
But I'm introducing. I met E-Man. He's from Toronto, Canada, where Luke's from, and so we're just introducing ourselves. But then we just start going for it, and
it
Shay said, God just showed up,
literally
and dude, me and Luke, Hayley's all right, we're Hayley just goes for it. She's just being herself singing. Me and Luke look at each other what? Who is she? How come we don't know?
Man.
Where have you been?
That's how I love about you guys, though.
Yeah, and so it just took off from there.
Yeah.
So
It was incredible because there was such a unity, in family,
instantly.
Spirit, no spirit.
Yeah.
And I had never led with a team that honored the way that you guys did. Yeah. It was so cool because we could just feel all God's on Gareth, and me and Luke would step back.
It was wild to watch
forward.
that.
Yeah.
Because here you are, versa. It's not one person's kind of the leader. Yeah. You're all leaders. Yeah. And so it's really cool to watch Hayley's gonna have a moment, and then you watch Luke and Gareth step back. Or okay, Gareth's having a moment, Luke and Hayley kind of step back. And it was just this domino,
beautiful.
And God would just touch one of y'all, and it was so evident, and the other ones were
yeah, it was
it was wild. I've never seen such an awesome. We were I remember looking at Kurt being I don't know, this is awesome. Yeah, this is our dream coming true. We don't even lead worship,
so
But yeah,
It's
so
incredible. It was special.
from Atlanta, that was the first time they'd played together.
Last
Spirit of
September.
God fell so many different times.
Yeah.
It was wild. And so me and Kurt went into dreamland. We're like, what if? Like, what if we went on tour? What if we recorded an album? Like, we just started going like flying.
Yeah.
We're not even part of the band, but we're a part of the band. And it's we're totally a part of the band without being a part of the band. And just things like that. And so if you guys could just hit some of the key points, and I really do want to hit like summer tour because I think that was just an amazing thing. So, was it Springfield next?
The Springfield, no,
just
St.
went
Louis
high
was
pitched.
next. Springfield, St. Louis was next.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Both and
Both and
More,
More,
and
St.
then we did
Louis.
Love to Love. And
Yes, that was all this year.
for Springfield.
Yes, so we met last
I mean,
year.
I've only known each other just
Not even-
Not even a
barely
year.
Like 11
No, it's
months.
not
Under
a
a
year,
year.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
under
11
a year.
months from now. So Atlanta, we kicked it off. God just put us together and started playing and worshiping.
Yeah.
And then what's hard about this though is I just want to say this, we all live in different places. Like we're in Atlanta,
true.
Toronto, Canada, Tennessee, like
Virginia.
So it's fun because we get to come out together. But anyway, so yeah, we did Atlanta last year, and then we went on to do Both and More. Kurt puts on, as y'all know, Both and More every year. So that was off the charts.
beautiful.
So we all flew in and met again and just kicked it off, and it was refreshing.
It was like
so
instant.
fun.
You wouldn't even know that. Like you would think that they have
played together
lived
for years.
together, played together. I mean, there's people being like, "How long have y'all played together?" And like 10 years, and
What's
we're
the
like,
name
"They've
of
only
it?
played one
What's the
time."
name of your band?
Listen,
I've had
do you have a
so many.
website?
Do you have an album?
I'm like, we are.
We don't know
whatever
what
you
we're
wanna
doing.
call
We're just
us.
like
Yeah.
We are followers of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
FOJ.
we did that. We did Both and More. Just a huge family gathering, which was so fun. God,
good.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many people came in. Alumni.
Yeah,
came
that
in
one
for
we had
It's
like
huge.
almost 100 alumni.
And that was earlier this year,
was
and then
wild.
after that we did Springfield, which was a Live to Love.
Live to
conference.
Love,
That
yeah.
was fun. So we did worship for that, and then and now I think this was after that. This is next.
Yeah,
So-
then we went to tour.
Oh yeah, sorry. So the tour, I'll let
So-
Hayley hit on the tour, but the tour, a lot happened on the tour. It was crazy. Like Shay said, I think we did 11 cities in
Yeah.
like
And
12
12
days or
days.
something, 13 days like that. So like 2 weeks roughly of pouring out, and then
We literally
every
get in the
night you'd
van,
pour out.
drive.
And you'd
wild.
wake up early and drive 6-7
Yeah.
hours, sometimes 8-10, and then you'd stop, you'd unload, and
You have enough time to maybe shower,
Maybe.
shower,
Yes,
clean
yeah.
up. Hey guys, we gotta go do sound check.
but it was
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
because
So fun.
it was so fun. But you want to share some on the tour?
Yeah. So we literally did 1, 2, 3 tour. Like we'd only played together 3 times before tour. That's
One,
crazy.
2.
Like that just blows my
Will's
mind. Like
crazy
that's
for
God.
trusting us.
And yeah, Will's amazing because he's like, yeah, come on.
We're like,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, we're sure, but are you sure?
Yeah. So it was wild, and it was like get a few hours of sleep, get up and go. But every single night it was beautiful because there's different parts of the body,
Totally.
and there's a different sound and a different like atmosphere. Like God just comes in every day,
Right.
and He came in literally every night the same way. He just crashed in
It
and
was
crashed in our
wild.
hearts. Like
Absolutely wild.
seeing hundreds of people like just lift their hands and be like, "God, we just walk off." I'm like, "Yes, God." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just was
but
beautiful.
also seeing a lot of alumni,
Yeah.
a lot of people come in and being like, I'm dry, like
We
I
need to be
need
refreshed.
this.
Yeah.
And I think that was a huge
main
part
goal.
of why we're doing what we do is to come to your
Help
place or come
facilitate
to
it,
you
yeah.
and come and say, all right, we're just going to get in the presence
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And because we've all experienced, most of us, the Harvest School or whatever conference, whatever, but it's like fanning the flame, whatever God's put inside of us. So I think that was the joy for me, is to see those out there, and you could tell after the end of the night they were just lit up. They were
Yeah, they were on
smiling
fire
again. They
again.
were
Yeah.
encouraged, and I love that. I love that
Yeah.
part of it. Where
And it was
it's
cool
It
too,
was
because
good.
like we've experienced, in Mozambique, signs, miracles, wonders, and I think for all of us, it's huge to see that in our own nation. So we
Yeah.
show up to these churches, and some of these churches were like they're like an hour early, and I'm like, wow, okay, this
Yeah, I'm
is
like, they're
interesting. Like,
hungry.
we've been crying for a revival, and I'm thinking,
We've
wow,
been praying for a
like,
week every night.
okay, yeah, and it was so
Yep.
awesome to step in on somebody else's like ground and soil and just be able to go, okay, we're not just tilling land here. Like we get to pour out actually, you know, because some places you go and it's like, okay, we're going to have to break through. We got to till land. We got to go there. And some places we showed up and like Will would get up or, you know, somebody would share a testimony about healing and then healing would just break out. You know, like this guy that like I think he was on a construction site and this crane fell on him. And Will got a word of knowledge for like the third and fourth neck bones. I don't know what they're called. I apologize, but I don't really apologize because I just don't know. And he like, nobody touches him. Nobody lays hands on him. He's just in the back and all of a sudden you're, what? You know? And we're like, whoa, what happened? What's God doing? And he runs up and he begins to say, like for 10 years, he's never been able to move his neck. Like he has to turn like that. And then he goes, watch this. And he just starts flailing his neck. And I'm like, where's my phone? I have to record this. This is amazing. And just so seeing things, parts of our heart as Iris Global, of stuff that we are seeing overseas, seeing in our tribe, seeing our family come together and believe for miracles and believe for the impossible. And now we're getting to pour it stateside. And like, and wild. It's like, it's wild. It's like, and just being able to like enter into that worship and that presence of God like that. Because of just God. Like it's just God. It's walking with God, but it's crazy. And so that was just huge parts of the tour and just seeing like God do something different, but yet same. Like same but different. We have this saying it's like same but different. And it's because it's all Him and it always points back to Him. But it's different for each person's heart because He knows. Like He knows where each person's heart is. And so the tour was crazy and wild. And like we ran into like, I mean, there was times where it's like, Jesus, you have to come because our vocalists and Will, like they've lost their voices. And like, I mean, it was amazing to pour, but it was like, it was a lot. And like Hayley said, they went from 1, 2, 3 to tour. You know,
I think it was all about surprise.
And I think that just goes to show even greater, like when God's on it, like He knows, like He knows the connections people need. He knows the people that you need to run with. Like you just be with Him, and He's got you covered. You know, Is there anything else that you guys like? Any standout moment for you on tour? Anything like that you've been like? This is like a highlight, or you know, anything like that.
I mean,
we literally started in Texas,
and ended in California.
We snaked all the way through Utah, like Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, Utah, Las Vegas, all the way into like a few different churches, all the way up close to like Central California. In a 15-passenger van and a truck.
And a
Lord Jesus, we family for real. I got to know people.
I think it's what people are crying out for. I think they're crying out for, of course, Jesus. People are crying out for a deeper relationship with Him, but in that, they're also crying out for family, for the presence, and for. So I think, for me, it was super humbling and such an honor to come into a lot of those places and just to watch. Like you said, they would cook for us. They gave us housing and beds and stuff. And we're just showing up there, just worshiping Jesus, and they're like serving us so much, and that to me that was humbling. But
so you probably still have moments where you're like, "This is my life," like I'm going from David in the pasture to seeing God go, "Hey, I have this for you."
It was crazy, but I think it's what people. I mean, we've experienced, just like Kurt and Shay, like a lot of us, like we've been to Africa and we've got to experience it over there. But God's now opening something up in America as well and everywhere else. But I think for us to do the tour, for God to put that desire in us and allow us to do the tour, I think he did way more than what we, dreamed or imagined. Like, behind the scenes. But to me, it was just humbling, like just to watch God pour out and touch people and revive people was encouraging because we've all been there. We've all had seasons where we just I mean, so many of you guys know you go over there, you come back home, you get back in your job, you get back in kind of the routine, you gradually fade away. You gradually begin to you're right there on fire, but you gradually just step away because there's life, there's reality, there's like there's stuff, circumstances, all this. But we allow it to affect us in ways. But when you see when you come when you come around other people though that are burning, it's contagious, or
Yeah.
joy, it's contagious, or presence. It's like, oh man, like Paul was talking to Timothy, like, come on, Timothy, don't forget when we laid. Don't forget when I came to you.
So
Don't
good.
forget.
Come
Don't you come away from that. You fan that thing. You fan it and you walk it out. And so, I just think that's where a lot of us are after the schools is continuing daily. It's about Jesus. It's about fanning this relationship with God. Papa Roland, I'm gonna stop here in a minute. But Papa Roland said yesterday in his session, he said the enemy knows he gets his victory, and he gets excited when he steals your romance with Jesus. Because he can give you a ministry, you're anointed singer, preacher, blah, 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 and you're doing signs and wonders. The enemy doesn't go, oh no. He doesn't mind if you're doing all that. Right. But if he gets your intimacy, if he can get in your relationship with the King of Kings, he's got you. And not that he's got you, he's doing what he wants to do, because he knows that we, as children of God, we're created. He knows that we're created for God and God alone. And that's what we have to fight for, contain for, and we have to give our life for is relationship with God. And everything else just goes in the background.
Everything else fades away, and first things remain first, and it's Him. And intimacy is knowing Him. And so I would love to just kind of end this with you guys, just kind of just sharing your heart about what you feel like God's doing on the earth with worship, and the sound that you feel like is coming, and just if there's any encouragement or anything. I know we only have about 7-ish minutes or so, but if you guys would like to just share that. Hayley, you're chosen one. You're the chosen one for this moment.
Yes, Lord. I do, man. I am so excited about what God's doing in the earth. I fully, with all my heart, believe we are on the brink of a move of God like we've never seen before. And I know that gets said a lot, but
it's real.
I with my heart of hearts, what does that even mean, heart of hearts? With my heart, I fully believe it.
With my whole heart.
And with my whole heart, I fully believe that. And I think God is releasing a new sound. I think He's releasing a new wave of His presence. And with praise and worship, when He's lifted up, all men come to Him. He's like, if I'm lifted up, I will draw all men to myself. And I just believe God's raising up mothers and fathers, sons and daughters in worship. Family in worship. And I think it will look like stages, but I think it will look like in homes. And I think there's going to be a merging of that. In the past, there's been this big move of God on stage, or just kind of hidden in homes.
The organic underground.
Yeah, I just feel
house movement.
Family merging, God wants it. He wants to pour out His Spirit. He wants to pour out.
God's just looking for opportunity.
Yeah, and He's looking for people who just want His heart. And because when you get His heart, you get His hand. And so it's just this. I really believe there's a generation of laid down lovers rising up who literally say God, you are worthy of it all. And the good and the bad, and when everything's going great, and when I feel like I'm dying, you're worthy. It doesn't matter. He is worthy of your worship. He's worthy of praise. And so I am excited, because I believe we're gonna see a family of all these different ministries and organizations coming together. I think you're gonna see a blend. Cross-pollination. Come together
right
in worship. It's gonna
That's enough. Anyway.
Y'all didn't come to hear me sing.
Really quick, I guess for me, I believe that God is looking for those who really do worship in truth and spirit. I believe that God is looking for those who that live a life of worship. I believe He's looking for those when they're mowing the grass, they're in communion, they're worshiping. When they're taking the trash out, when they're doing the dishes. To me, it's not worship. Is not on the stage, and it's not this conference. I mean, it is. We're here to sing and stuff, but to me, it's just serving your guts out for God and just giving everything, and it's living a lifestyle. It's just living a lifestyle of praise and adoration and serving and humbling yourself. To me, that's. I feel like I feel like a lot of people have been in this. He's stripping. He's searching hearts. He's looking for those. He's looking for those who will live a life of purity and just exalt Him instead of looking for something else.
Totally.
So that's what I believe. So he's doing something. Yeah, he's doing something. I think it's time for those guys to rise up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just from the aspect of worship is a lifestyle. Yes, it's the washing the dishes. Mm-hmm. It's taking the towel, washing somebody else's feet. It's so much more than a stage and a good song. Yeah. That is the abundance of what comes out of worshipers. Yeah. It's the overflow of your intimacy, your life with God. And I think that's something I appreciate about both of you guys is that I can attest to all the viewers that you guys live a life of holiness, consecration, purity, and just like it's your life. Like so when you get on stage and we're like getting blasted and like wrecked by the nearness of the Father, it's only because you've allowed him to be you are a vessel for him because you sat with him, you played the guitar with him. You talked to him when it was like, God, I feel like I'm literally going to die right now in this moment. And he became your breath. He became Hayley's breath. He became, the lover of Gareth's soul. And I love it because obviously I know you, but I love it because I feel like that's what God's wanting to do. He says, I searched the earth to and fro, finding a willing heart, not a heart that's perfected, not a heart that says, I know how to perform, but one that says, I'm hungry. Yeah. And I love that about you guys. I love that I feel like that's what God's doing is he's going to highlight the hungry ones. Yeah. And that's all our lives have become is just like, I didn't choose this. We didn't ask for this. I was told by God this would come, but I wasn't making my way. Right. And so as we end this Iris After Hours, man, I just love this whole conversation. The presence of God in here is just like, woo! Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's Brother Yoon talking or if it's just like, woo! No, he's here. And so, we're so thankful that you would take the time to watch this conversation. And if there's anything that stood out to you or like, man, like that really resonated with me, I'd love it if you were to comment in the section below and just let us know like man that really stood out to me, man, Gareth, this part of your story like so man that got me, or Hayley, this, that, or the other. And just knowing that worship isn't just singing songs, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and no matter how God chooses to shine on you, that worship is what's going to come out because it's the abundance. And so thank you so much for watching. Go find these hidden heroes and follow them because they're amazing. They're doing awesome things for the kingdom of God. And make sure you share this video, like this video, subscribe to this video. And thanks for tuning in. This is awesome. Thanks, like this is definitely.
You are the heroes.
Yeah. You're the real MVP.
So have a great moment, depending on when you're watching. I was going to say evening, but you could be watching this in the morning.
Evening, in the noon, and night.
Just have a great life. Have your best God life now.
Stay connected.
We love you, and thank you for watching this video.
This podcast is presented by Iris Global. For more information or to support the work of Iris Global, please visit us online at irisglobal.org.